a new van, some new TVs, and now you're part of the faith-based initiative. Now you're not a church. You're not even a charity. You're a government front. You're a collaborator with the bankers and their takeover. I don't care if they put American flags on the outside of it. It's anti-liberty. It's total evil. And so the preachers and all the rest of them, you go to any church this weekend, it's worship the government, do what you're told, it's of the Lord. I mean, just unbelievable, getting ready for the collapse. But the thing is, it isn't even do what you're told because the government's good and got good people in it, and we've got an outside threat. This is the very bankers imploding our society, bringing this in. So I want to hear, because you guys are so cowardly, especially the preachers, that because you know this is classified and you've been told not to talk about it, you won't call in about the clergy response team, even though I had the documents 6 years ago. And since then, there'll be a newscast on it, running PSYOP. We've played those newscasts here. And the police are so scared when they call in, even as listeners. I go, so you've worked with the military and warrant service, haven't you? Well, yeah, I'm not supposed to get into this. It's everybody, folks. It's a giant secret program, and they've gotten our police that are supposed to be under state charter, under the municipal government, to be little secret agents, and they get off on it. You know, the TV's always, ooh, CIA, ooh, classified, like it's rock star status. It's all fake. It's nothing. It means being disreputable and traitorous against this country. You understand that? The modern-day CIA, you can undoubtedly say, is a foreign power, is a group of mercenaries of a foreign power, and there's hundreds of thousands of CIA agents, officers, and millions of their minions in the United States. I'd estimate it's at 10 million under direct CIA control. I mean, every dentist my dad knows has been approached to spy on everybody in their office. And it's like, well, what's the spying? I don't know. Not paying taxes, marijuana, pills, talking bad about the government. It's, folks, it is a total Stasi state where everybody starts ratting everybody out. The people get scared. They know it's a tyranny, so they start going along with it. A lot of people are going to get really energized and aggressive with this system, not because they believe the propaganda, but because they're such smoking cowards. And statistically, by the way, the system likes to destroy them. That's one of their favorite little dishes. So those poor idiots have no idea what's about to happen to them. Historically, these operatives, when they take over, respect and fear people like myself, Ron Paul, and others, because they know we understand. And they're usually compartmentalized and get totally freaked out by somebody that decompartmentalizes things for them. But the country will be destroyed. It will totally fall in the third world cesspit if the globalists have their way. This is it. This is it. And it's so real, it makes my head spin. So I want to hear from military, because I know there's over 100,000 of you at least, active and former, who can be called back up, who in the last decade have been phased through this civilian inmate labor camp PSYOP program that I covered in the last hour that's the biggest news ever. Leaked U.S. Army document outlines plan for re-education camps in America. And I want to hear from pastors who, A, said no to the clergy response team or said that they would go along with it. I mean, it's time to come to the altar. Show everybody that you repent of being part of the clergy response team. Have a little courage. Stop being a coward. Your ancestors are looking down on you from heaven, and you're a shameful person if you don't have the will to call in and admit what you've done. I mean, we already know it, but it's good to talk about it, to at least get you out in the open discussing this. And I want to hear from police. I mean, is there nothing you won't go along with? You know, I had a guy calling, he's a listener, he's a fan. Yeah, he knows that was a good guy they killed up in Georgia. That's where he's from. He's now down in San Antonio as a senior officer. And I go, and yeah, you work with the military, don't you, in secret warrant service? Yeah, we do. It's totally illegal. It's totally secret. And the fact that you had to hesitate before saying it. Look, the globalists know it. They set it up. The little public doesn't know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't understand. They think they're not going to go look at my article and my PDF and the government documents. They're just going to say, oh, Alex Jones talking about a police state takeover. Yeah, that fearmonger who said they'd have TSA checkpoints on highways. Well, they do, but he's still a fearmonger. They're ratcheting this up to see what they can get away with, we've got to go absolutely hog wild ape and scream bloody murder and run around like chickens with our heads cut off with this information. Get this article. Leaked U.S. Army document outlines plan to re-education camps in America. And it goes through breaking up the families, psyops, taking the political dissidents away. I mean, this makes NDAA look tame, saying they'll secretly arrest us, because this states it's for people politically active. I already knew that under the COINTELPRO and under Rex 84. Even preachers in there that are establishment, they've got targeted and watched and will decide to arrest later, because they've got actuaries and they know your moral fiber, that they know you're a dupe. At the certain level down the road, they know statistically when you're going to buck up against it, they're just going to come by and kill you. That's in the InfraGard documents. They're going to kill you and say it was a suicide. They're going to kill preachers, talk show hosts. It's going to be hell on earth.
Digestive health is the key to wellness.
Thank God for the renegades. All right. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231. 800-259-9231. I want to explain something. When the Army says they'll follow orders to secretly arrest citizens, that's illegal. I mean, that's an order like Hitler saying, shoot that kid in the head. And if you do it, you're an accomplice. All of this is illegal. The military assisting, oh, I know, they've got the training, so they're going to help you. It's all about getting you ready for this. The drug war, all of it's to corrupt you. And now it's coming out in the open, and now they admit, yeah, we're going to take you to re-education centers, political dissidents that don't agree with the government. And because they say that's the policy of the U.S. is the government, not the American people. You don't have free speech in America. You're not going to have private property either. Only the big mega banks are. Agenda 21, all of it. It's all accelerating. And if you think the stuff's moving fast now in a year or two, lightning speed, lightning. Maybe next week, maybe 2 years from now. But, I mean, it's coming to that flashpoint. Toll-free number to join us, 800-259-9231. 800-259-9231. We've got military, police, listens to the podcast, police officer just retired, police, pastor. Who should I go to first? Who's been holding the longest? I'll try to shut up and go to you guys quick because I know you're busy. Let's go to military police, David in New Jersey. David, was this any secret to you, this document?
Actually, Alex, not at all. To be honest with you, I've been trying to call in for a few weeks. I listen to you all the time. I actually got into probably 2 years ago. The weird thing with me is, like, I had been seeing how the country's going in, and I came in on the military with, like, the intention to do good, and it really bothered me how, like, the whole war on terror turned out to be a whole bunch of garbage. I actually experienced, when you're talking about the whole false flag issues regarding, I received an award for catching 2 people on terror watch list at a gate. And I can provide that documentation to you. And the thing that really bothered me and what turned me on to you was the FBI knew where they were the entire time and let them just come right up to the gate. And who the hell knows what would happen. It just bothers me that they let them in the country with no passport or anything.
Exactly. They were, well, that's in the news today, where even mainstream media admits they're creating and leading the groups and trying to get them to attack.
Absolutely. I mean, they knew what they ate that day. Like when it came out, they were held for 6 hours at our base, and when it came out 6 hours later, the FBI knew what they ate that morning. They were in the country with no passport, no identification, no nothing, and it just so happened that they had a dependent that.
Of course, they bring them in, and of course they sell it. Oh, it's for the Muslim extremists. No, in the training manuals, it's for people like Charlie Daniels, basically. So expanding on this, what do you make of this re-education camp thing for political dissidents?
I mean, you know that's been in the works for how long? I mean,
no, I know, but now that this has been leaked, I'm asking: have you yourself seen this document?
Oh no, I have not. I didn't see it till I went to InfoWars a couple minutes ago. Seen the document.
What do you make of it?
What do I think about it? I can tell you this right now, Alex. The military is not going to turn on the citizens. I can guarantee you that. Percentage-wise, I would say the military is some of the most awake people out there.
I agree.
Scale.
Yeah, they weren't 10 years ago, but it's unbelievable. I think we've really checkmated the globalists. Well, then why are the globalists moving forward with all this? Do they think the TSA is going to be their shock troops?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, I really think it's crumbling right in front of their eyes, to be honest with you. And I've totally put everybody in my workspace I've completely put on to you, and I can say out of 10 people I work with, everybody there sees the problem, what's going on, sees exactly what's going on. People didn't want to believe in the beginning, thought I was crazy, and every time I'm there listening to you every day at work, and they're like, wow, this guy fucking tells the truth, straight up. Sorry for cursing.
It's all right, we just had to delay out. The internet got to hear it. Well, listen, if you'd like to send us documentation, I can put you on hold and give you one of our emails where we can probably have a chance to actually get it. We get so many. And I'd like to hear more about that. I actually have a stack of mainstream news admitting now that the FBI manufactures fake terror. They're not infiltrating. They go out whole cloth and create it, and they always use low-grade morons.
We're on the march.
Well, the guys put that together from Ghostbusters trying to have some fun. I guess it is gallows humor because we're at a real crossroads here. You've got a lot of people that are awake. You've got foreign banks that have taken over Europe that run us through the Federal Reserve. They're trying to destroy our country. I mean, they paid $20-something billion to ship General Motors out of the country to 4 different nations. Cadillac, Volt, all built out of the country now. I mean, if that isn't treason and sabotage, I don't know what is. And they just do it right out in the open. They have tax incentives to move our jobs to China. China owns most of our so-called debt now, to where we can't even have a human rights activist they've tortured for years. He's in a standoff with the people in China for months protecting him. The Chinese people are uprising all the time. He escapes to the U.S. Embassy and they just turn him back over. Because they own us. The corrupt have sold us down the river. We've got to recognize it and say, this is fraudulent. I don't accept this. I don't owe money for your derivatives. It's us or them. They're all going to go to jail, folks, if we take the country back. That's why they're so dangerous. Do you understand that? I'm going to go to your calls. I'm going to shut up. Just if you just joined us, leaked U.S. Army document outlines plan for re-education camps in America. And you read this thing, and it's confirmed. It's authentic. It's on the government's major sites. Paul links to it. And what's happening is government contractors and people are just leaking this right out onto the government contracting sites. And we've got all the contracts that go with it that have been confirmed. Mind-blowing. Go read it. Arresting people for their political views and putting them under psyops in camps, taking their kids from them, their guns. It's entitled FM 3-39.40. This needs to be huge news. We need to demand this be covered. Remember, it took 2 weeks for me to be able to get people to admit NDAA was real. Let's go ahead and go to, we got a pastor in North Carolina. We'll see if that's about NDAA. We got Woody is just retired police officer. We've got Army officer or ex-Army. We've got police that have been listening the longest. We'll go to Jay in California to get his take on this. Jay, thanks for calling and holding. What's your view on civilian inmate labor camps and people being arrested